How we breathe. The respiratory system. The respiratory system, how our body breathes. Every second of every day, your body takes in oxygen and gets rid of carbon dioxide without you even thinking about it. This happens thanks to the respiratory system, a network of organs and structures that allow us to breathe. In this lesson, we'll explore how air moves through your body, how your lungs work, and why this system is so important for your survival and everyday functioning. The path of air. The respiratory system is the body's system for breathing and gas exchange. It brings oxygen into the body, essential for every cell to make energy, and removes carbon dioxide, a waste product made by our cells. This system includes both upper, nose, pharynx, larynx, and lower, trachea, bronchi, lungs, respiratory structures. Working together, they help filter, warm, and deliver air to the lungs. Without the respiratory system, our bodies wouldn't be able to function properly because our cells need oxygen to stay alive. How air travels through the body. When we breathe in, inhale, air enters through the nose or mouth and travels down through a series of structures: nose, nasal cavity, filters, warms, and moistens the air. Pharynx, a shared pathway for air and food. Larynx, the voice box, where sound is produced. Trachea, the windpipe that directs air into the lungs. Bronchi and bronchioles, branching tubes that carry air deeper into the lungs. Each part plays a role in making sure air reaches the lungs clean and ready for gas exchange. The lungs. The lungs are two soft, spongy organs found in your chest, protected by the rib cage. The right lung has 3 lobes and the left lung has 2, to make room for the heart. When we breathe in, the lungs expand to take in air. Inside the lungs, the airways branch into smaller and smaller tubes until they end in tiny air sacs called alveoli. The lungs are not muscles themselves, they rely on other muscles to help move air in and out. Blood vessels surround the lungs to collect oxygen and carry it to the rest of the body. Alveoli, the site of gas exchange. At the very end of each bronchiole are alveoli, tiny, balloon-like sacs that are only 1 cell thick. Each lung contains millions of alveoli, providing a huge surface area for gas exchange. Oxygen from the air inside the alveoli passes through the thin walls into nearby capillaries, tiny blood vessels. At the same time, carbon dioxide in the blood passes into the alveoli to be exhaled. This process is called diffusion, and it happens every time you breathe. Without alveoli, our body couldn't absorb oxygen or get rid of waste gases. The diaphragm, your breathing muscle. The diaphragm is a large, dome-shaped muscle located below the lungs. It plays the most important role in breathing. When you inhale, the diaphragm contracts and moves downward, making the chest cavity larger. This creates a vacuum that pulls air into the lungs. When you exhale, the diaphragm relaxes and moves upward, pushing air out of the lungs. The intercostal muscles between your ribs help by expanding and tightening the chest. These muscle movements are automatic, controlled by the brainstem, and they repeat constantly around 20,000 times a day. Inhalation versus exhalation. Breathing is made up of 2 parts: inhalation, breathing in, and exhalation, breathing out. During inhalation, the diaphragm contracts and the chest cavity grows larger. Air rushes into the lungs, filling the alveoli. Oxygen from the air moves into the blood. During exhalation, the diaphragm and intercostal muscles relax, the chest gets smaller, and carbon dioxide is pushed out of the lungs. This entire process happens so smoothly and quickly that you barely notice it. Yet, it keeps you alive by constantly refreshing the oxygen in your bloodstream. More than just breathing, the respiratory system has other important jobs beyond breathing. Speaking, the larynx, or voice box, contains vocal cords. Air passing through causes them to vibrate, producing sound. Smelling, the olfactory receptors in the nasal cavity detect smells when we inhale air. Protecting, tiny cilia and mucus trap dust, pollen, and harmful germs. Sneezing, coughing, and nasal secretions help clear irritants. Regulating blood pH. By controlling the level of carbon dioxide in your blood, the respiratory system helps maintain the correct pH needed for your organs to function properly. How to take care of your lungs. Your respiratory system works hard, so it's important to take care of it. Here's how. Don't smoke. Smoking damages your lungs and airways. Exercise regularly. It strengthens your lungs and diaphragm. Avoid air pollution. Stay indoors on smoky or dusty days. Wash your hands. This helps prevent colds, flu, and infections. Stay hydrated. Drinking water keeps mucus thin and easy to clear. Healthy lungs mean better breathing, more energy, and a stronger immune system. Let's review. What have we learned? Let's quickly review what we've learned. The respiratory system helps bring in oxygen and remove carbon dioxide. Air travels through the nose, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, and bronchioles to the lungs. Alveoli are where gas exchange happens, oxygen in, carbon dioxide out. The diaphragm and intercostal muscles help us inhale and exhale. This system also helps with speech, smell, protection, and pH balance. Every breath you take powers your body, so take care of your lungs.